I thought it might be fun to come to BBridgePark and see some of see the new park really that they put down here, and also see some of the artworks they put in the park. So what we're looking at right now is a sculpture by an artist named Mark DeSuvero, and it's a kinetic sculpture in that you can see it's moving ever so slightly, and it's called Yoga, which is sort of a funny name for it. I guess maybe let's walk around to the other side. Mark DeSuvero, the artist who made this sculpture, actually has made a number of sculptures. He's kind of known for these really big steel public art pieces. Behind this big fence that you can see here, they're building this pier house, a big residential housing development. That probably is part of the deal when you build a park like this. But one of the sort of cool things that they're doing, you can see all the way along this sort of wooden wall that barricades you from the construction, they've done artist projects. So this is one by an artist named Diane Udelson. She's calling it Antique Aviary, and it's different birds. It looks like an old photo, like etching kind of process. Obviously reprinted in some sort of digital form on this kind of synthetic canvas. So they have a series of different artists. So then this one is an artist named Alexis Pike, and it's called Claimed Landscape. You can see they seem to be paintings of nature, landscapes of nature on buildings that she's photographed. We're coming around to the first sculpture. Here we've got a little information panel about it. The artist's name is Oscar Tuazon. We have a little map of where we are here. This is going to be called, this sculpture right here is called The Rain. It says here that he, as an artist, was inspired by the sort of resourceful creativity of urban neighborhoods. And so the structures that he builds are sort of sculpture variations on what might be sort of familiar playground designs. And he's combining some of the natural materials and materials that are objects and materials that you might find in a city park or in a city playground or in a neighborhood within the city, with some of the sort of more industrial building materials that you'd also would find in Brooklyn, especially in sort of the more industrial parts of Brooklyn. Okay, so this is The Rain. You can see there's a big tree, or at least a big tree trunk in the middle of sort of this concrete house structure. See if I can get a good look at it. It seems like some people have done what people often do in public spaces, which is inscribe themselves on it. This is another one of again, Oscar Tuazon's sculptures. Again, put on by the Public Art Fund, which is a presenting organization that installs public art projects throughout New York City through a competition process, usually. It's kind of cool. It combines again, a tree trunk, and like I was saying before, he likes to use natural materials combined sort of with more industrial materials, or in this case, kind of construction materials like concrete. So he's combined something that looks almost like a handball wall that you find in a lot of public parks, with a tree and a basketball net, or I guess a basketball backboard, no net. Often, like, you would find it in a city park without the net. And a little bit of a tribute to sort of the ingenuity or the resourcefulness, in this case, you know, of New Yorkers, of people in cities, trying to find a way to create a situation of leisure, a place of play. And so he's thinking about this park as a place of leisure, right? You see all these benches here, and there's a field up there. There are a lot of people biking and running by me as I'm here. This particular piece, we've got another one of his plaques here. This one's called simply People, and it's made of a maple tree. It says concrete, metal, basketball, backboard, and a hoop. That's it. This one is called The Machine, which is kind of funny because to me, it seems like the least machine-like one. Unfortunately, the lawn is closed, so they won't let us get closer. Sort of a bummer. I don't know if you can see very well in the video. So it's, again, sort of a familiar tree trunk shape. But in this case, there is some water trickling down the tree, kind of like a water fountain, or like a sort of waterfall, might be exaggerating a little bit, but sort of like a stream, sort of like a mountain stream coming out of the top of that sort of severed branch. Just so you have a sense of where we are at, there's the Brooklyn Bridge. Behind it, you can see a little bit of the Manhattan Bridge. And again, the harbor, downtown Manhattan. And way there in the distance, a little bit of Statue of Liberty. You can see that. It's pretty amazing out here.